Y'all see Gene, I'm telling y'all, man, somebody better punch him in the face. Somebody better do something to him, man. He out here doing this, that, and we be like, all right.
Thank you, Roger Bonds, for putting it out there. It came to life for y'all. It came to life for y'all that this dude wanted me dead way before I came to YouTube. What he look like telling somebody to whoop my ass? He didn't tell him that. He wanted me in the dirt and was trying to rock me to sleep.
Gene Deal has been making waves lately, appearing on interviews, podcasts, and live streams, revealing one story after another about Sean Diddy Combs and the hidden side of the bad boy era that was never meant to be exposed. But despite speaking out, Gene admits he's been careful, almost like he's constantly watching his back, because he knows just how powerful Diddy is and what he might be capable of doing to silence people. And here's where it gets even more intense. Roger Bonds, who once served as Diddy's head of security, has now come forward with a shocking claim of his own. He revealed that he was once instructed to go after individuals who crossed Diddy. That doesn't just support Gene's story, it makes the entire situation far more alarming. This isn't just drama or internet gossip. When someone like Roger Bonds, who was once inside that inner circle, speaks out, it carries weight. He witnessed that world firsthand, saw its darker side, and now fears that the same tactics of intimidation, control, and silence could be used against Gene Deal. What makes it even more chilling is that Gene isn't trying to provoke anyone. He's simply sharing his truth, talking about what he experienced during his time with Bad Boy. But now, those truths may come with a very real risk.
I've been seeing this a lot online. How you feel about the people that say that you should be worried if Diddy get out?
What needs something to say, bro. I'm not gonna worry about somebody that I bodyguard. I'm not gonna worry about somebody that I bodyguard. And God knows I can bodyguard myself with his blessings. I can bodyguard myself with his blessings, bro. I'm not worried about that. Nothing beats an ambush, and I know that. But I'm not worried about his shit. People just need to talk about something. They want to have something to say, man. Oh, Gene got to be worried, so like that. So, shouldn't I have been worried when he was out here on the street? When he was out here on the street, I should have been worried. Yo, bro, August the 14th, 1999. High-speed chase in Harlem. You understand? How I didn't know that he didn't send nobody after me then. Because niggas do that shit. They'll send somebody at you. I've seen dudes that do shit and they have niggas right there in the same clique and they didn't even know he did it. So how I know those 4 guys, 5 guns to my head wasn't sitting by him. When Roger Bonds come and say later that Diddy wanted something done to Gene Deal. How I know? That shit made the news.
Let's break this down, because what's unfolding here goes way beyond a few viral claims. This is about a powerful empire under pressure, a looming federal case, and insiders finally speaking out about things that were never meant to be public. And the deeper you dig, the more unsettling it becomes. First, it's important to understand who's involved. Roger Bonds isn't just another voice online. From 2003 to 2012, he served as the head of security for Sean Diddy Combs, a role that placed him at the center of everything. He wasn't just guarding doors, he was responsible for protecting Diddy in high-pressure environments, clubs, award shows, and private situations most people never get to see. Over time, Bonds didn't just protect, he observed. He witnessed how power was used behind the scenes, how conflicts were handled, and how influence could shape outcomes. According to his own accounts, those experiences eventually pushed him to his limit, leading him to walk away. In recent years, Bonds has started opening up more about what he saw during that period. And when he speaks, people pay attention not because of rumors or speculation, but because his perspective comes from being inside that world firsthand.
So let me ask you a question. How long before you started working with him did you start to see like red flags, and did you know like, damn, this kind of crazy? Was it like immediate, or was it like he gained your trust and you started vibing and you started seeing shit? Or was it like off the rip you knew like, hey, something up with him?
Now enter Gene Deal. If you've been following this story, you've probably noticed his name coming up more and more. Gene isn't an outsider looking in. He was right there during the rise of Bad Boy Records, back when Sean Diddy Combs was shaping the careers of icons like the Notorious B.I.G. and Maze, artists who helped define an entire era of hip-hop. Gene wasn't just watching history unfold, he was part of the system behind it. He was present in the background of sold-out concerts outside VIP sections and in hotel corridors where major decisions were made and secrets stayed hidden. After stepping away from Bad Boy, Gene Deal began speaking out, sharing what life was really like once the spotlight and glamour were stripped away. And what makes it even more compelling is that after his departure, his successor, Roger Bonds, eventually came forward as well, confirming parts of Gene's story through his own experiences. When you line up their accounts, the overlap is hard to ignore. It doesn't just make Gene's claims sound believable, it strengthens the idea that there may be more truth to his story than people initially thought.
Man, listen here. I want to let this young lady know, and I know this is not the place for it, brother, but please allow me to say this to her, man. You know what I'm saying? I started this battle long time ago. And the situation is that, bruh, we already won. This was some spiritual that Pop, the spirit of Pop, the spirit of Big, the spirit of Miss Jones, the spirit of Wolf, all the people that he has done wrong, you know, so Black, all the people that he has done wrong, bruh, is coming to light. We already won this spiritual. What we going through right now with these trials and everybody, you know, with this financial situation and everything like that, all that is superficial. That's the physical part of it. The spiritual part of it was won because Big, Pac, Wolf Mother, all the people that he did wrong, bruh, you understand? They already won the battle where we were supposed to win it at. So now we just going through the physical part of it, man. And I want that girl to know, man, that she ain't gotta fear no man. She ain't gotta fear him, nobody else, man. Whenever she needs, you understand? Whenever she needs somebody to travel, to go with her, to make sure she all right, you know, I'm a phone call away, man. I'm a phone call away. And you know, go ahead with your questioning, man. I just had to get that out, man, because that girl touched a lot of people, man, because all she wanted to do was write music, make music, and show her talent and her love to the people, man. And then she got to feel this way, be fearful and scared of her life and stuff like that. Ma, I ain't scared of no man. You understand? I ain't scared of no man. Nobody that got to put their pants on the same way I do. Not at all.
And for the people that don't know who Tiffany Red is, that's Cassie's best friend.
That's one of Cassie's friends. She was writing a lot of music, and she said that she was writing music for her friends to get. Oh my God, man, come on, man.
And here's where the contrast really stands out. While Roger Bonds comes across as measured and calculated, careful with every word he shares, Gene Deal is the complete opposite. He's raw, unfiltered, and often intense, speaking with a level of emotion that feels less like a scripted statement and more like years of bottled-up truth finally being released. That authenticity is exactly what's made his interviews spread so quickly. People connect with the passion, the frustration, and the sense that nothing is being held back. But that same energy also puts a spotlight on him, one that can quickly turn into a target. Because when someone isn't just telling a story, but delivering it with emotion, anger, and zero restraint, they become impossible to ignore. And for someone like Sean Diddy Combs, who built his empire on control and influence, a voice like Gene Deal's isn't just inconvenient. It could be seen as a real threat.
Man, you know, a leopard don't change his spots, And Diddy been doing this real long time, bro. He been doing this for a long time. And now another artist, this artist didn't wait 10 years. You know what I'm saying? He didn't wait 20 years. You understand? He waited a year or two after he stopped working with him and saw he didn't get what he was supposed to get. And he said, yo, listen here, man. I'm putting in my claims right now because I'm going to show everybody what really happened, what really went down. It's crazy. When I was reading it, I read the whole thing. Shout out to Keisha in Kansas City. She sent me the whole documentation, bro. And, you know, the whole court thing. And when I'm reading the stuff, you know, it sound from a lot of it sound familiar. You understand? And what I mean sound familiar, how he would get other girls and get girls to try to, you know, convince this guy, you know, or put him in a situation with other girls so he could do whatever he wanted to do with them. And it's just like the situation somewhat with Sarah and her girlfriend and him and Ja. You know what I'm saying? Bringing girls on to try to convince this other guy to be in a room with another naked man and all this other bullshit. Yo, it all sound familiar, man. I read the whole thing, man, and it was crazy.
And for the people that don't know what you're talking about, because the lawsuit is new, so, you know, some people still catching up with it. Little Rod, he alleges that, you know, Young Miami cousin tried to have in front of Diddy.
Yeah, he went into the bathroom, and then she came into the bathroom and tried to, you know, throw herself on him. He didn't want to have nothing to do with her for whatever reason. And then when he came out the bathroom, she continued to try to do that and try to have, wanted him to have on a Diddy and the rest of the people that was in there. You know, that's how they do, man. They try to use a girl that you might like or you may think you might like, or they think you might like her or whatever, to convince you to lay down your guards with them. And he didn't.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And you're not surprised by none of this, because you said that Ja Rule, they did this to him, right?
No, remember, and people got it confused when I said that Ja and him was in the room with two girls, with Sarah and Sarah's girlfriend. You understand? He was trying to get Ja to go at Jay-Z. So what he did was try to get another girl, you understand, to do something with Ja. I guess, I don't know, they in the room together. So when they, in that thing, I know what he was planning on doing because I heard the conversation.
Recently, Roger Bonds appeared on a podcast and made a shocking claim. He said that Sean Diddy Combs had once directly instructed him and others to physically confront Gene Deal and another bad boy insider, Mark Curry. According to Bonds, these weren't rumors or secondhand stories. These were orders he personally received. He says he chose not to fully carry them out. He described being told to go after Gene and Mark simply because they had spoken out publicly. If true, it paints a picture of someone reacting aggressively to criticism, something that goes far beyond personal disputes. That's what makes Bond's recent warning feel so serious. To him, this isn't just old history, it suggests a pattern. The concern he's raising is that if those kinds of instructions were allegedly given in the past, similar actions could be feared now, especially during a time of intense legal pressure. Bonds didn't frame it as entertainment or drama. His message came across more like a caution, something meant to alert Gene Deal to stay aware and prepared. Whether people believe every detail or not, the tone of his statement made one thing clear. From his perspective, this situation shouldn't be taken lightly.
As it's getting worse, you getting older. So as you getting older, you getting wiser. And you understand, okay, this stop. You know what I'm saying? None of this stop because there's nobody there to stop it. And this person is becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. So if you becoming stronger and stronger and stronger, what's there to make you stop? You know what I'm saying? Like what I feel like what he's going through now, that's enough to make you stop. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't never went through this and everything you going through gets swept under the rug, it ain't no reason for you to stop. Bonds ain't gonna make me stop. Bonds is just another security dude. Now I see that. You know what I'm saying? But when you live in it and you going through it, that person knows how to make you feel like, yo, you ain't gonna never gotta worry about nothing, because this is what they telling you, this is what you seeing. So each and every day, I'm not gonna lie, you hope that that person wakes up the next morning and a red light went off in their head. Say, yo, I gotta treat better, or I gotta treat a person better, or I gotta do this. So that's what you hoping, and then you get to the point where you say, yo, nah, make a change. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So one of the main things that happened was I got diabetes. Right, I was in Spain somewhere, and I kept going to the bathroom like every 10 or 15 minutes, and I'm like, what are you going to the bathroom for? Somebody said, yo, you know, if you go to the bathroom a lot, you get diabetes, because you got to remember, we was traveling and moving so much, there was places that we would be at that you wouldn't even drink the water. You know what I'm saying? Or they say, yo, if you from the United States, the water gonna make you sick.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I've been to Mexico a few times and got sick as hell off that water.
Oh, for the water.
Yeah,
so you end up drinking sodas and juices all day long. So that's one of the things that happened. So I looked at it as like, that was like one of the ways that God got me out my situation.
So how did Gene Deal respond? With something you don't often hear in stories like this, real, unfiltered fear. In a recent interview, Gene openly admitted that he feels the need for protection. He said the threats are serious, that he believes people may already be moving against him, and that he no longer feels safe without constantly watching his surroundings. Think about that for a second. This is someone who once spent years protecting Sean Diddy Combs, one of the most powerful figures in the music industry, and now he's the one saying he might need security just to stay safe. That reversal alone says a lot. It highlights just how intense and unsettling the situation has become from his point of view.
Drinking and start popping and passing it to dudes around them. I left from the area and got my own table. You not rocking me to sleep. You never rocked me to sleep. Though I worked for you, you wasn't doing no dirt. That's why my days was with you when you had your kids. Because you knew you couldn't do that dirty to me. And that's a good judgment on your behalf. Roger Barnes got on that show and said, he said, yo, we seen Gene plenty of times. But we knew Puff was a and we had to live in Harlem. That's because we know the same people. When Roger Barnes talk to people about me, they're gonna say Gene a stand-up dude. Gene was all right, bro.
Gene Deal also described a tense moment outside a courthouse where he believes he may have already been targeted. According to him, a YouTuber kept provoking him, following him around and repeatedly taunting him. The situation eventually escalated, and Gene claims he knocked the man out. But from his perspective, it wasn't just a random confrontation. He saw it as part of something bigger, an attempt to bait him, push his buttons, and throw him off balance while he's already dealing with intense pressure. Whether that interpretation is accurate or not, the fear behind it is understandable. When someone feels like they're being watched or warned about powerful people potentially coming after them, even ordinary encounters can start to feel like threats.
Because I was starting to get sick in the situation. Like I was starting to wake up in the morning, damn, B, I'm still here. Even though I'm in an exotic country or I'm in an exotic place, I'm like, damn, I'm still here. Because the energy was off. You know what I'm saying? Everything that was going on around you was off. And you were expected just to stand there and do what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's acquired of you. Right. You know what I mean? So, you know, that was one of the things that made me say, okay, it's time to go. So I used my sickness as one of the reasons, like, yo, you know I can't be traveling with you, and you know I can't be doing this, that, and the other. The doctor said I need to be in a stable place. I need to get a certain amount of sleep. I need a certain type of food. So you were trying to pull away. I was trying to pull away. You know what I'm saying? So what I did was I found that they had an opening in Ciroc.
But with every viral soundbite, the tension only grows louder. That spotlight has become a double-edged sword for Gene Deal. It offers a level of visibility that can protect him, But at the same time, it puts him directly in the line of fire. Right now, he's caught in that balance, where attention can either keep him safe or make him even more exposed. How many stories are staying hidden right now because people are afraid of ending up in the same position as Gene Deal? That's the bigger question being raised here. At this point, it's not just about Roger Bonds and Gene Deal versus Sean Diddy Combs. It's become a wider conversation about accountability, about whether powerful figures in the music industry can continue operating without facing scrutiny, and whether fear keeps people silent, or whether more voices will eventually step forward despite the risks. Because from this perspective, what's unfolding looks like the slow collapse of an empire. Each new claim, each interview, and each viral clip adds another layer to a story that feels far from finished.
If you do something to Gene, you're going to have to deal with Chaz, you're going to have to deal with Slick, you're going to have to deal with Cage people, you're going to have to deal with a whole lot of people that love that name. And that's the politics of Harlem. Roger Bonds know the politics of Harlem. So you have a homo cats out there right now that's talking all that shit. Gene paid his dues. Because I came here and talked about the character of this dude who wanted me dead. I been knew that. He ain't saying nothing I didn't know. Y'all could find somebody else to play with. That goes to show you what kind of dude this is. Instead of coming to the table to save Big and Tupac, he said it. This what kind of character that y'all out here saying that y'all standing up for. People are still alive. Eric B, Big D, Suge Knight. They was gonna squash this East Coast, West Coast before Pac, before Big was dead. He wouldn't even send a representative to the table. Not a table that he ate off of. The table that he got his millions from is having his ass for dessert. No